No rush. It's nice to sit down. Right, now, let me explain. First things first, sit with your back against the chair. And then come forward. So there's about 4 to 6 inches from your back to the chair. And have that sort of slightly, not fixed posture, but a more upright posture. Engaging your core muscles if you can. Do that for me while I explain what's going to be going on and why. Last night, dear old Uncle Boris Johnson, announced the lockdown. I've got to say, I was not in the least bit surprised. I was expecting it to happen. I'm quite pleased that it has happened because it does look as if it will be a significant measure to stop the transmission of the COVID-19 virus. However, despite the fact that I was expecting it, and despite the fact that I'm pleased it happened, I found after I'd done all my work and uploaded the videos and done 1 or 2 other things, it was getting on for about 11:30 at night. I found I was uncomfortable. There was disquiet. Fear, if you like, was raising its ugly head. And so if you'd seen me round about midnight, you would have seen me doing a Qigong come meditation exercise to, if you want to use sort of pretty words, to center myself or to relax myself or to whatever. And I thought it might be worthwhile because obviously one of the things that we have the ability to do in this sort of video format is do what you've all done, which is sit on a chair, which in a live class, obviously, you may not be able to do that. Live classes may not have chairs, so another tick in the box for video classes. What I thought we would do is a Qigong exercise with some guided meditation, guided relaxation. Those of you that know me know I'm not a particularly esoteric or sort of woolly thinking kind of person, so I'm not going to sort of ask you to, recite mantras and burn incense. By the way, if any of you do recite mantras or burn incense, that's fine, just don't do it. Don't do it when I'm in your house. Right, so what we're going to do a modified version of the 5-move Qigong, which, as you're all members of the site, you should be able to go after the event, if you haven't done previously, and practice the 5-move Qigong. We're going to do a modified version. The first thing that we're doing is we're doing it seated. I haven't done a video for it seated on the website. I really should, because doing the 5-move Qigong seated is an interesting exercise in its own right. But doing it as a relaxation exercise and as a suppression of anxiety exercise, seated is better. So let's just go through the moves that we're going to be going through first, so you get the physical aspect of it right, and then I will do it as a guided relaxation exercise with you. So the first move is the hands face each other at about chest height, and you breathe in and they come apart, and you breathe out and they come together. It doesn't matter whether the hands only come a little way. It doesn't matter if the hands come a lot. That's entirely up to you. What you want to do, though, is synchronize the breathing with the hand movement. So here I'm breathing in, and here I'm breathing out. If you can, breathe in and out through the nose. Let's just do a few of those to get into the habit. Now, obviously, the speed at which you do it may well be different to the speed I do it, because The speed of your inhalation and exhalation may be different to mine. Okay, and relax. That's the first move that we're going to do today. And that is, I've got to think now, 1, 2, 3. That's actually move 4 in the 4-move Qigong. Excuse me. That's the move we're going to start with. So we're going to start with move 4, which is this opening and closing move. And then we're going to do move 3. Move 3 is pushing your hands away as you breathe out, bringing your hands back as you breathe in. So if you do that with me, you breathe out through the nose, you breathe in through the nose. And relax. And the final move that we're going to do, the final different move that we're going to do is move 5 from the form, where your hands come up as you breathe in and you breathe out as they come down. So you breathe in, taking your hands as high as you comfortably can. It doesn't have to be too high. If you've got any shoulder issues, obviously adapt to them. So here's the breathing in and the breathing out. Okay, so those are the actual physical moves that we're going to do. The sequence of moves that we're going to be doing is first this move, then that move, then we're going to be doing this move again, then we're going to be doing that move. That's the sequence. The reason being, what we are going to do is we are going to do something that statistically, one of you, when I use the next phrase, one of you is going to go, oh no, we're going to use our imaginations. And when you say that to a group of people, invariably somebody goes, oh no, I can't use my imagination. Yes, you can. It's a tool like any other. It needs practice, it needs exercise. But bear with me on this and all will be well. Okay, let us start. What we're going to start to do is we're going to start with this opening and closing. Breathing in, breathing out. And while we do that, we're going to think about how we feel about the current situation and try and isolate if there is any issue that causes concern. Now, for me, it's really easy. The issue that causes me the most concern is my lack of control, right? I am a control freak, and the fact that with a situation like this, I have no control over the outcome freaks me out. So I try and imagine that between my hands, there's kind of an area here that contains that worry. And I try and give that worry a kind of a shape and a colour so that it's as if it were a physical thing. And I imagine it. And then what I start doing is I use this hand movement that as I breathe out and my hands come together, I shrink, I push, I squash that feeling, that physical thing. Breathing in, breathing out, squashing that anxiety. Breathing in, breathing out. By the way, one of the really good things about this exercise is because it is relatively simple, you can teach it to other people. It's easy. And as you continue to breathe in and out, you imagine that thing reducing in size. And you basically want to carry on until your imagination allows you to reduce that thing to about the size of a pea. Now let us pretend that with 2 more of these, we reduce that worry down to the size of a pea. We then leave it there in space, we breathe in, and we push it away, and we imagine it getting further away from us. You breathe in, you breathe out. Now, each time you breathe out, you imagine that little pea of worry, what a great phrase, getting further away from you. Even if the relaxation and imagination phase of this exercise doesn't gel with you, just the fact that you are doing this slow, rhythmic breathing with these movements will have an effect of gently relaxing you. And there comes a point where you've just pushed that pea way, way away. I'm going to do it in 2 more repetitions. So that worry just seems physically, I've lost count, I can't count up to 2. The worry seems physically far from you. You then come back to this exercise and you start just very relaxed breathing. And now here within, you build another construct. Now for me, because as I say, my worry is about lack of control over the situation, this construct is something I have control over. So the easiest one for me at this point in time is just to be aware here of what I'm physically doing at the moment. So in other words, having pushed a worry away, you then try and construct something here that is the opposite. It's something good. And here, instead of squashing it, each time you bring your hands away, you allow that thing, which is in your mind, it's not real, I'm not pretending it is, although I am pretending it is. You allow that thing to expand. So my control over the moment, which I am sure about, is what I'm focusing on. And I'm letting it get bigger and bigger. Now, because it's my imagination, the distance in between my hands, in my imagination, can be as large as I want it to be. I don't know if ever any of you saw the Men in Black movies, but in there they had this lovely idea of a whole galaxy held in a little ball around a cat's neck. Imagination is marvelous. Now, eventually, this good thing, which for me at the moment, it's a kind of a bright yellowy white ball of control and vague feelings of happiness as well for me. I go to this move and I kind of pick this feeling up and I let it wash down over me. And I breathe in. And as I breathe out, this positive feeling, I allow it to wash over me. And then I'm going to do a couple more, but on the last one, the one after this one, I'm going to allow my hands to come together in the sort of sit in my lap. So here my hands come together and I just let them rest against my stomach. I half close or close my eyes and I just completely focus on relaxed breathing. And I'm going to open my eyes and ask you to open yours. An exercise which I haven't done for a few years, but which is quite a nice one whenever you do any kind of relaxation one, is take your glasses off, rub your hands together until they get nice and warm. This is actually in its own right a Qigong exercise, slightly different one. But you let your hands get hot and then you put them on your face and you rub up and down. You can give your ears a little pull because there's acupressure points there, and you come down the chin and you go up and over and down and you give it a little pull and up and over. As I say, you can give a little massage to the earlobes and down. We'll do one more. And I will put my glasses back. That exercise, it works on multiple levels. It works as a psychological relaxation exercise. It works, and that will work for a lot of people. It certainly works for me. The idea of articulating to myself my worries, articulating to myself a mechanism for controlling that worry. So I come up with a worry and I come up with some aspect that negates that worry. As I say, lack of control of the virus, yeah, but I still have control of myself. If it was some other aspect, I would look for the positive to offset the negative. So from a mental point of view, it does that. If that is not of interest to you, in terms of the way your mind works or what you want to do, then this exercise as a seated Qigong exercise, as a way of improving your breathing, and if you did what I said about sitting 4 to 6 inches away from the back of the chair, improving your posture. If anybody's done something like Pilates, you'll have heard teachers talk a lot about core strength. Core strength is something that you don't have when you sit back in a chair, because obviously the core is relaxing. When you sit forward without trying to join the army, when you just sit forward in a natural upright posture, that's good for you as it is.